I'm ready to level up and have somebody get me to that next level. Now that I'm 2 months in, we're getting there, we're going. It's exciting to see things pay off. Anything good takes time. Hard work does pay off. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Digital Wellness Club podcast. And it's been a while, but we are getting back. Before we can go forward, we got to look back. And what I want to do is chitty chat about last year. I want to get into what worked, what didn't work, how everything went before we move into all of the amazing, exciting things I have coming forward into 2023. And I know we're like 2 months into it, but a girl was busy. We had a lot going on, as everybody does with the new year. And this is one of my New Year resolutions. Hate that word, but wanted to continue on with the podcast because I loved it. And continue on recording. So here we are, just to provide some more value to you. 2022 did not start off as planned. My old friend Cancer came back, and that I will save for my Lemons blog posts that you can find on my website. But just to give you the Coles notes of kind of what went down is I had my final reconstruction surgery done. If you're new here, I had dealt with my initial diagnosis of breast cancer in 2021, and I was in the middle of surgery. And so 2022, I was looking forward. I was going to have this final surgery, and I was going to sail off into the sunset cancer-free. And then I had a really sore spot in the same spot. And so of course, they get you in for testing, get you in for all this stuff. And as not ideal as it was pretty amazing that I got my test results back. I got my cancer surgeon back from her trip like a day before I had surgery, and they could get everything done all at once, from my reconstruction to removal of the lump to kind of tie everything off. So that was pretty amazing. However, it did leave me with having to do another round of chemo just to make sure that it wasn't any circulating cancer cells or kind of what was up. I was not excited about this, to say the least. I had finished chemo the year before, and it's tough. And I really struggled with the decision. I had a hard time wrapping my brain around doing chemo just in case. And so I spent a lot of time, like in the treatment world. I spent like a week or two really weighing out my, the cost benefit, pros and cons. I consulted with different people in the industry, from like people in the States, different people in Canada, just to kind of get a really holistic look at what all my options would be. And we ultimately decided on doing chemo again, and it was the best option. So I started that again, and I had about 4 months of treatment. And, talk about Groundhog Day. I felt like I was right back to 2021, starting all over again. I mean, it's not as aggressive chemo, and I had 3 weeks in between each treatment. So, compared to the first time, it was every 2 weeks, and I would just start to feel better, and I had to go in for treatment again. Whereas this time, I got an extra week to feel even better. And like the biggest bonus was I didn't lose any of my hair, which in the grand scheme of things seems pretty low on the list, but that was a kind of a big deal for me to not have to go through losing my hair again. I, again, really oddly, when I went through chemo, it was like I had this permission to just, chill out and not worry too much about growing my business, but, doing things that really brought me joy. And I got into running my new master classes. I launched over the summer, and I did it all while I was just living my best life. I had finished chemo in June. So then I had all summer to kind of heal, rest. And I was just spending a lot of time at the lake. Any lake I would just take advantage of and get out of here. And it was pretty awesome. It was that reminder of that's why I started this business in the first place. In the weirdest ways, it was every time, the 2 times I've had to take a break because of cancer treatment, it's brought on so much clarity of, what do you only have this much energy. What do you really want to be spending it on? And so I came out of treatment like I had one of the best, months in growing my business, and that wasn't the goal. The goal was just to chase joy down, and it was really fun, and I couldn't believe it though. After coming out of treatment, having some of the most successful months, and just having fun creating. As September kind of rolled on, that's kind of like the other New Year's of the year where we kind of get back into our routines, settle in, and I fell back into some old habits. I started, really focusing on monetary goals. We all do that. I'm sure you've done it where, this month I want to hit this many figures. And if we reverse engineer it, we think, okay, I only have to get 3 of these clients and 2 of these clients. I just did this and 3, I know. 3 of these clients and 2 of these clients, then I can hit my goal. And then when the month is over and you haven't hit that goal, you feel like you failed. When the goal was to find joy, I just continued to scale and scale. And so the last fall of 2022, I felt like I was in a bit of a rut again. And I was, doing things. It felt like work. And I know at the end of the day, it is all work, but when I was creating from a place of joy and just inspiration, it never really felt like that much work. I was just having fun. And when my perspective, my mind shifted, it really took a toll on the success of my business. And I just, winter rolled around and I knew it was time that I was just going to have to make some changes. I could recognize that I was falling back into these old, not conducive or helpful habits. And so I gave myself the grace, I gave myself the holidays to kind of chill out, relax, focus on what was bringing me joy. I set up some good intentions. I started creating some new habits. And this is what gave me the space to kind of start fresh again. And rolling into the new year for 2023, I had a lot of those feelings of, is this going to be like the last 2 years? Thankfully, another note on that is I'm in a trial where I get my blood tested for tumor DNA, and that has been coming back clear. So I have the mental thankfulness that, I know it's not coming back, it's not circulating in my body, but it was a great time to, figure out like things outside of work that I can do that can help me get back to that really clear, joyful place. And this included things like having my workout schedule, cleaning up my diet, going to bed early, reading more, getting off screens. It's all the things that we know to do, but for some reason, they always fall to the bottom of the list. We think one more social media post or one more launch or one more email will be the thing. But a lot of times the things is the other stuff, right? It's the other things that make us feel good. And I think it's really important to not wait for a new year or a new time to start these kind of habits. And I was ready before the holidays were even over. I am like an avid Christmas planner, and I'll keep my Christmas tree up for so long. Like I love the holidays, but like I was ready Boxing Day to take it down because I was just ready to go full charge into the new year because I was feeling so motivated and getting all this clarity. And the thing is, it all compounds. The more you do it, the better you feel. So the more you want to do it, right? So it's that getting started. And so like I said, I rolled into 2023. I was already working out, 5 days a week. I was doing my meditations, my journaling. I started that cold shower thing. Everybody's doing it. And it actually, I said I'd do it for a month and I'm rolling with it. And like I said, early bedtime, less screen time, more books. Again, I was reading self-help and business books exclusively. And this last year, I started reading for fun again. I used to love to read, and it has sparked this joyfulness. Again, I keep using that word because it's really, that's what it's all about. You got to enjoy the stuff that you're doing. And so reading again became for fun, and it wasn't work. I wasn't being productive in a work capacity. I was being productive in a having fun, getting lost in a story. And I also made some major investments into my well-being. Like I said, between a trainer, good food, things that make me feel good, even if it is like getting your nails done. And then I hired a new, not so much business coach, more like life coach, mentor, somebody just to help keep me on the path, because I felt like I had got a lot of traction and I was like, I'm ready to level up and have somebody, get me to that next level. And now that I'm 2 months in, I can say that I feel like we're getting there. We're going. Like I keep saying, we're getting there. I feel like I'm arriving at the door, and it's exciting to see things pay off. Anything good takes time. Hard work does pay off. And I had this really big change so I'd spent the last years working out, like lifting weights with a trainer to help me. And it was weird. I could just surrender to that process, knowing that it's going to take a long time. And not necessarily, I guess that's all relative, but I mean, I can't do like one really good workout and instantly be in shape, And I could surrender the process of like, this is going to take weeks and months of dedication, but at the end of it, it will pay off. There will be a difference. I will be stronger. But I realized I wasn't giving myself that same perspective in my business. It was, well, I'm doing the things. Why aren't they working, tomorrow? And I would fall off after so many months. I wouldn't stay consistent. I wouldn't be committed to those changes that I made. I would expect in my time frame, well, things should be happening. I want them to happen on this timeline. Why aren't they happening? And so by making these other shifts outside of my business, seeing transformation happening, knowing that if I put out that type of energy, it will come back, and really working on doing that for my business as well. And so for today, I think the biggest thing is I want you to think about your commitment levels, the things you're saying, I'll start those later, or waiting for Monday to start. That's another story. With the cold showers, I was going to start them in the new year. And then I thought, well, why don't I start them tomorrow? Why am I waiting 4 days just because it's a new year? That doesn't make a lot of sense. So don't wait for the new year, that we're way past that, but a Monday, the start of a month, to going after it. Just get clear on what you want and start making the changes today, because regardless, time will pass. So you might as well start making those moves today. And I think rolling into this new year, being cancer-free, I'm just really excited, like I said, to continue to compound and expand on the work that I feel like I've already done. Because there will be moments where everybody has health issues or things outside of our control in our life that are going to get in the way of, or as we would say, get in the way of what we're trying to do. But it's all kind of a part of the process. And you need to find those moments of joy, coming back to that word, in all of it. Because there will always be outside things, and staying clear on what makes you happy. So, motivation alone didn't bring me here. And I want this just to be a reminder that you gotta stay clear on the path, stay committed to it, and things will flow. Things will start to show up, maybe not even how you expected it. And it's really exciting. So thank you for being on this journey with me the last year, and we are rolling into a new year. So many exciting things coming. I'm going to be bringing on some guests, and we're going to be talking wellness, because I just love all things. I know that's a catchy word, but all things in health and well-being, how that relates to your business, how that relates to being, a partner, a parent, a sister, a friend. And we're going to find a way to integrate all these pieces of our lives to be the best version that we can be. My goal is to share with you my stories and the things that I've learned to help you along your journey. And I can't wait to see where this takes us. So stay tuned, friends.